What is up, guys? Archon Tsunami here, bringing you guys another YouTube video. This one's about the crit items and what they may be planning to do to change them in the future to help AD carries. I'm also going to be talking about who else is affected by these changes later on in the video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into it. We have the Phantom Dancer. It's losing 15% attack speed, going down to 30. Crit Strike is going down by 5, and it's gaining 2% move speed, so it'll be 7% base. And it looks like it's also losing the Spectral Waltz passive, and in case you don't know what that does, it basically allows you to walk through minions so you can't be creep blocked, and gives you 7% move speed on top of that. And Lament is basically 12% damage reduction against the last enemy champion that you hit. And it was a really strong item. It was insanely strong on Yasuo, Tryndamere, and then I guess if you wanted to build it defensively for AD carry, you could. But it was pretty much a rush item for Trynd and Yasuo, and with Ninja Tabbies, basically auto attacks were dealing 24, I think it is, percent less damage, and then abilities were just dealing 12 after that, because it's just the Lament passive by itself. So that's pretty crazy. The new passive is Lifeline, which, if you are not aware, it shares basically a passive with Maw and Sterix. So it'll be interesting to see how this works with Maw. I doubt you're going to be building it with anybody who's using Sterix anymore. So I wonder if Maw's going to pop because it has better effects, or if Phantom Dancer is going to pop when Lifeline, because it's at 30%, which is what Maw's at also. So basically what this does now is it just grants a shield when you fall below 30% HP for 280 for 5 seconds and a 90-second cooldown. That will be interesting to see. I kind of, like I said, I hope Maw's passive kind of goes over top of that for Lifeline because it has so much more to give you, like Life Steal, Spell Vamp, 20% or not 20%, but 20 attack damage as well. Whereas Phantom Dancer is just a 280 shield. No good. Let's look at Raab Firecannon. 30% attack speed, so that's staying the same. It's going to lose 5% crit strike chance, just like Phantom Dancer, and it's gaining 2% move speed. So it's kind of weird that they're stacking 2% move speed. Looks like that's probably what the change is going to be for the future. Put on your scroll stack shiv. Yeah, that's what it is. So basically they're giving all the attack speed items 7% crit, and they're losing 5 crit strike chance. And they're keeping everything else the same, is what it looks like. So we'll go ahead and look at static shift just to confirm. 35, yep. 25, yep. 2 attack speed, or move speed, yep. Everything else is the same. Let's look at Hurricane. Actually, I think this is kind of a nerf for Hurricane because Hurricane already gave you 7% move speed to begin with. That was one of the nice things about it. And it always gave 30% crit strike, and now it's being nerfed down to 25 potentially, and then 40 attack speed, which is everything else is the same. Go ahead and find Essence Reaver here. We'll look at Essence Reaver. It is interesting that basically Runan's is getting reduced by 5 when that was never the case. Even in the old days, it was always where it was at. There it is, Essence Reaver. So Essence Reaver would be going back to what old Essence Reaver used to be. So it's going to lose 15 attack damage. It's going to gain its crit strike back. You're going to lose the 300 mana. And instead of gaining 300 mana, you're going to get 1.5% of missing mana on basic attacks. So instead of 1% and 300 mana, you're just going to get 1.5 back. And it's also losing the extra effects of being able to give you your abilities back after using your ultimate. So instead, it looks like they're adding an item called Spear of Sojin, which I believe was a part of the Brawler Fighter item list that they were going to launch at the halfway point of Season 8, right before Worlds, and then decided not to last minute because they didn't want another, what are they called? Darius, Mordekaiser, Juggernauts, that's what they are. Juggernauts. They didn't want another Juggernaut patch right before Worlds where it changes up the game so heavily. So it looks like this item got reworked again into an item that basically has new Essence Reaver's effects on it. So they're basically splitting Essence Reaver up into its old form and then giving this new item here the effects of Essence Reaver on the live server. So Kind of interesting. You also lose 5 damage here too, which kind of sucks. Is what it is though, right? Back. Let's look at IE. Here's the big change that everyone's going to be looking at. 70 attack damage, it's the same there. You're basically going to get 25% crit strike chance back on the item, which is nice. And it's going to go back to how it was before the, I think it was 8.5 patch where they nerfed the 80 carry. So it'll go back to dealing extra crit damage, which is nice. So you'll be able to spike early again about mid game and then be able to carry late. Because initially what you would do is you would just build your BF sword, you'd go into one attack speed item, and then from there you finish IE, and then you pretty much murder everybody on the map. Or you could even go 2 attack speed items after BF sword, and then finish out with IE, and then same thing, just kill everybody on the map. The new IE didn't really do a good job at helping you win the game, because basically what it did is it made it so you had to win mid game, and if you weren't winning mid game and your other lanes were struggling, then you couldn't carry the game at all. 10% true damage on crit strikes really didn't do much. It pretty much made it to where you didn't deal a lot of damage towards like other squishy targets like mage. But against tanks, it was supposed to help and didn't really feel like it helped much there either. Especially if they were ahead and, top lane got snowballed. Your damage still was pretty minor. Like the tank could be so far behind and still just dive on you and insta-kill you. Whereas with the old Infinity Edge, you actually could melt tanks pretty effectively. So, old IE's coming back. We'll talk about the crit changes now, and then I'll go into the other items. So, who I think this is going to affect most, I think Phantom Dancer is going to affect, like I said earlier, Yasuo and Tryndamere. You won't be able to rush it on those guys anymore and just pretty much auto-win lane with Ninja Tabbies. You're going to have to learn to trade properly again, if you weren't already. You're not just going to be able to hit your opponent one time and then just all in them. So I think that's a good change for the game. That's a healthy change for the game. No item should be one item in, just power spike and win lane. I don't think that's how it should be. I think you should have to build more items. Like 2 items is fine. 3 items would be ideal. And then you've hit your power spike and then you can, carry the game if you get ahead. I think that's healthier. But IE is going back to the way it was before. And I want to say they changed Yasuo's passive, I believe it was. So they'll probably have to go ahead and revert Yasuo's passive back to the way it was before the IE changes last season. Because I think they buffed his crit strike chance damage or something to compensate for the nerfs. Because originally, after they nerfed IE, they didn't compensate Yasuo and he fell way down, like in the 40s or 30s for win rate. It was really bad. But if they do these changes and they don't revert Yasuo, he is going to be broken. He is going to pretty much insta-kill everybody from the moment he buys the item. He'll just rush it, and he'll be one-shotting people in lane. So as long as they fix Yasuo, everything will be fine. I don't think it's going to hurt Trin's or Yasuo's win rate. I think they'll stay probably the same as they were, or they might even revert back to whatever they were back in 8.5 before the IE nerf. Not sure. Did we have Conquer back when IE was originally what it was? I don't remember if we did or not. I think we did. And I think that was pretty busted too, so they might end up nerfing Conquer again over it. Who knows? So yeah, it looks like, if I remember correctly, the crit items, the attack speed items or whatever, used to be, I think, 30 crit strike across the board. Or maybe they were only 25 originally as well. I know Runan's was 30. Runan's was the only exception. It was 5 up above everything else. So yeah, everything else would have been 25 anyway. So they're basically just giving 80 carries back what they had before, and I think that's good. Because where they had them now is just, you can't carry the game. You could be 12 or 13 kills ahead of everybody and you'll still lose game. Because you just don't deal enough damage. You either win mid-game or you just automatically lose. And if you're not building crit, you get outscaled by, if you build crit, you're getting outscaled by the other 80 carries that don't need crit, like Ezreal, Varus, who else right now? Kaisa. Trying to think of some other 80 carries. I think Callista is also up there. But she just got changed as well, and they basically took the power out of her Oathsworn and just gave her all the control so that way she doesn't need her Oathsworn with her at all times. Which I think is a good change for her too. So, but yeah, basically you're going to be building probably your BF sword, 2 attack speed items, then you'll finish IE, and then you'll have, what, 75% crit strike chance, and if you really want to go for 100, you can finish another crit strike item, or not crit strike item, you can finish another attack speed item, or you can go Essence Reaver if you're playing Lucian or something for mana. So, there's options now for you again. The 7% move speed, I'm guessing, will probably be nice too. I don't know what the point of that is. I mean, like I said, it's only really going to affect Jhin, I think, the most. Maybe Callista? It might also help her a little bit. Because I believe she autos based on her move speed or something like that. I don't know how her kit works. I don't play a lot of Callista. Not really a fan favorite of mine. Anyway, let's look at the rest of the changes now. Last Whisper. Let's go ahead and just click on this. Now we can just find it. Last Whisper. Bam. Looks like for an extra 150, you get 10 more attack damage as well as 20% armor penetration. So I think this was also changed in 8.5 with the 80 carry changes. And I want to say it was because they didn't want people sitting on Last Whisper and then being able to deal a bunch of damage with it and then not upgrading it until way late in the game. So they made it to where you actually had to upgrade it immediately in order to actually get any value out of it. So they would be reverting this back too. So now when you make the actual item, you only get 20 attack damage and then 15% armor penetration added. Whereas now I think it's what, 25%? Let's see what is more, or yeah. So if you actually go right into Lord Dominic's, you go from 10 to 35, so you get 25%. Whereas with this change, you'd get 15 for an extra 1350. So you can actually sit on Last Whisper again and not have to worry about going straight into Lord Dominic's or Mortal Reminder. These are both the same. Mortal Reminder 25%, yep. Grievous Wounds. So yeah, those are basically the changes. Like I said, I think Tryndamere and Yasuo are probably going to be just as affected as everybody else. They're going to have to nerf Yasuo's passive to compensate for IE returning to the way it was before. I'm glad to see that Phantom Dancer is getting its passive changed because it was really annoying, like I said, to face off against somebody who rushed it and then pretty much just auto in lane because you can't trade with them, especially if they get ninja tabbies. And then your damage just straight goes to 0 against that person. Like I said, no item should automatically win you lane. Now I don't think tabby should be hit either. I initially thought they did because they nerfed 80 carry items, but they never nerfed ninja tabbies to compensate for it. Which ideally I think would have helped out a lot and would have gotten a long ways in helping the transition for 80 carries with the nerfed items. Because pretty much people just rush them and then you just deal no damage to that person. Same with Phantom Dancer, so. The big thing to look at will be whether or not Lifeline, the passive for Phantom Dancer, will proc over top of Maw, or if Maw will proc over top of Phantom. I would have to imagine that Maw is going to go over top of Phantom just for the fact that it has like a bunch of other bonus effects in it. I can't see Phantom Dancer's 300 or what was it, 380 or was it 280 shield? 280 shield being better than I think Maw's 350 right now. And then like I said, the life steal and spell vamp and the plus 20 damage. So yeah, I can't see it being better than this. So yeah. Unless life grip is considered something different than lifeline, but it says okay, yeah, so it is different. Never mind. I thought it was still underneath the lifeline tag. I didn't realize they actually did make a change for that. So it doesn't actually matter either way. I think probably Phantom Dancer will proc over top of Maw just because it's a shield that blocks everything. And then you'll still be able to force life grip, which will give you the Maw benefits, which is nice. That's my bad. I thought that it was still all underneath lifeline, and I think they fixed that when they fixed Derek's. So. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. You guys enjoyed the discussion. I would like to hear what you guys think about them reverting the 80 carries back, basically back to what they were before 8.5. If you think this is going to be a good idea, or if you guys think that the 80 carry will be too powerful again. Me personally, like I said, I like the change. I think right now 80 carries are in such a bad spot that they need this to recover, if you will. I think it was a dumb idea to try to force other roles down into the bot lane like mages, especially when they went ahead and they nerfed every mage that went down there to replace the 80 carry. Because if you recall, who went down there? Was it Victor? I think Victor, Vladimir, Cass, and Ziggs went down there, and each one of them, I believe, got nerfed, which didn't make any sense to me. Why they're nerfing? Because they were fine in mid lane, but when they went bot lane, somehow they became broken. Never made it. Or no, it was Swain. That's who it was. Swain was the other one that went down there. They hit every one of them with nerfs. So if the whole point was to experiment and give, mages the ability to go bot lane, why would you go turn around and nerf them right after? It wasn't like their mid lane win rate was going up. It was just their bot lane win rate was going up. So basically they nerfed them for being in a 2 champion lane instead of being by themselves. Because by themselves they're balanced, but when you add like hard CC from a support, it made them broken. So, oh well, is what it is. Like I said, I think it's a good change for the 80 carry. I'm glad that the game's coming back to what it was before. I can't wait to see everybody else's reaction to it. This is all theoretical though. This is what they are looking to do. And they're just talking with a lot of the fans of the game and stuff to see what they think as well. Me personally, I would love to see this change. I'm not saying this is fact. This probably won't happen, I guess. I don't know. We'll see in 9.2 if any of these changes come through. At least revert IE back to the way it was before. I think that's probably the biggest thing, even if they don't change Phantom Dancer. I think reverting IE would be huge for 80 carry. So I've rambled on enough. Like I said, let me know what you guys think of this. I'm going to link down below the Discord. We can talk in there too if you guys ever want to hop in there. I'm trying to build a community. Appreciate if you guys would come help me out with that. I'm going to link the Twitch down below too. I'll be streaming on Thursday, January 18th. Or no, 17th, sorry. Thursday, January 17th. We'll be doing some World of Warcraft, probably leveling up our monk a little bit. I might do some League of Legends beforehand too, if you guys want to come in there and talk about some of the changes with me live. Yeah, that'll pretty much do it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my thoughts. I can't wait to see what you guys have to say about it. And with that, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys, like I said, Thursday for the live stream. And if I don't see you then, I'll see you on the next video. Later.